To start off, I'd like to request Mr. Kabeer Naqvi to give us a very brief and a warm welcome and share his thoughts on digital banking. Thank you, sir. Kabeer. Thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It's an honor for me to speak with you today at such an esteemed gathering. In the interest of time, I'll keep it short, and I'll just talk about microfinance and digitization as a practitioner, our view. So nowadays, two terms are quite prevalent. One is financial inclusion, and the other is digitization. So I'll give you some stats that bulk of you are aware of, and they're rather depressing. 26 million children are out of school. 40% of the agri-produce goes to waste. Between 2 to 3 trillion rupees are lying outside of the banking sector, and about 84 to 85% of the country is unbanked or out of any formal financial service. So we've got a lot of work to do. As a practitioner of microfinance, when I go out in the field and see that when you leave any urban city 50 kilometers outside of Karachi, Islamabad, or Lahore, it's a totally different world. The 4G, 3G gets patchy. Smartphones, the penetration that we talk about every day is not there, and it's a totally different world. So as I said earlier, a lot of work to do. Now, we need to look at railroads to reach out to the masses. For me, particularly, and UBank in particular, financial inclusion is a means to an end. What we're trying to achieve is better livelihood. We need to focus on health, education, and through financial services, uplift, socioeconomic uplift. That's the end game. Now, for digitization and automation, I think the distinction needs to be drawn between digitization and automation. Nowadays, you all must have heard that bulk of us have started going out in the field with tabs and, and collecting data digitally and giving out loans. In the microfinance context, it is very important to note that the intimate relationship between the relationship officer and a client cannot go away. So brick and mortar will always be important, and this connection, the one-to-one connection between the bank officer and the client has to stay there. Now, in a 208 million people country, the penetration in terms of borrowers is just 5.8 million active micro borrowers. And under the NFIS, all of us have pledged that we will reach to a 10 million number by 2020. I would like to draw your attention to this, some more stats here. When we talk about 10 million borrowers by 2020, that is 2.5 years from now, under the current regulatory regime with 11 microfinance banks and about 39 MFIs, we need about 260 billion rupees of funding and approximately 40 billion rupees of additional capital to reach that number. And to top it up, we have also pledged to get to half of the adult population under the mobile wallets, which is 50 million. And a lot of work has been done, but there is more that is required. So I'll leave you with these thoughts, and I'll share more in the panel discussion as to what UBank is trying to do to make our contribution. Thank you very much.